Mayor and members of council, I have one word to say to Mr. Dhillon: resign. I do not want to refer to Mr. Dhillon as a councillor because I am so disheartened and disgusted by the actions outlined in the Integrity Commissioner report. I want Mr. Dhillon to resign because I believe he no longer has the confidence of the residents of Brampton. Resign. I think that Mr. Dhillon should resign because the taxpayers of Brampton put their faith in me and all of us to make hard decisions based on the facts as they are presented to us by our professional staff. Resign. I want Mr. Dhillon to resign because we live in a society where women have for far too long been the subject of assault and mistreatment, and women are fed up and are not going to take it anymore. Resign. Mr. Dhillon should resign because the woman referred to in the Integrity Commissioner report is not a complainant. She is a victim. Resign. I want you to resign because the victim is somebody's mother, somebody's wife, somebody's daughter, and somebody's sister. Resign. I want you to resign because we as a council cannot sit in chambers and make decisions about the future of all Bramptonians and accept your comments in good faith, knowing what we know from reading the transcript of that recording. Resign. I want you to resign because we can no longer trust you to meet with any of our female staff members without worrying that they should be accompanied by security. Resign. I want you to resign because your actions as outlined in the Integrity Commissioner's report have put the city of Brampton at risk of major lawsuits. Resign. I want you to resign because as a taxpayer of Brampton, it bothers me that my taxpayers' dollars were being used to support your activities in Turkey last November. Resign. I want you to resign because as a compassionate Christian, therapist, and behavioral consultant, I want you to take time to seek help and heal your family. Resign. I want you to resign because it would be the honorable thing to do after such a dishonorable display of misogyny. Resign. I believe you should resign because the residents of Wards 9 and 10 deserve to have full representation from someone they can trust and feel safe with to meet. Resign. I want you to resign because your victim gave you 74 chances to stop what you were doing by saying no 74 times when it should have just taken one. Resign. I want you to resign because as the chair of the city's Economic Development Committee, you have put in jeopardy the economic well-being of our city. Resign. I believe you should resign because your actions have brought a stain on the reputation of the office of councillor. Resign. I think you should resign because you have abused the privilege that was bestowed on you to make decisions that shape the future of the community that we call home. Resign. I want you to resign because every little girl growing up in Brampton deserves to have a city council that is free of sexism and misogyny. Resign. I want you to resign because every little boy growing up in Brampton needs to learn about consent, and that no means no, and that seeking or getting consent not seeking or getting consent has consequences. Resign. I believe you should resign because we as a council do not have the right to remove you from office. Resign. I want you to resign because I'm afraid that there may be other victims out in the community. Resign. I want you to resign because your departure from council chambers will help the victim to understand that we have zero tolerance for the type of actions that you are alleged to have done. Resign. I want you to resign because Brampton will be looked on with scorn and contempt if you continue coming to council chambers as if nothing happened. Resign. I want you to resign because your continued denials mean that you have no remorse for your actions, even though there's a recording of what you did. Resign. I want you to resign because in Canada, over 80% of sexual assaults go unreported to the police. Resign. I want you to resign because statistics show over 40% of assailants are known to the victims of sexual assault. Resign. I believe you should resign because this city council endorses a zero-tolerance policy for harassment and workplace bullying. Resign. Mr. Dhillon, you should resign because this investigation and the Integrity Commissioner report has become a distraction from the important work of city building. Resign. I believe you should resign because Peel Region has an epidemic of domestic assault and abuse, and this council and community has organized far too many memorials and vigils and fundraisers for victims and surviving family members. Resign. I'm asking you to resign because according to Statistics Canada, 3 in 10 women were targeted by inappropriate sexual behavior in a work-related setting compared to only 17% of men. Resign. I believe you should resign because I should not have to ask our senior staff to contact all of your current former staff to find out if they've ever been one of your victims. Resign. I believe you should resign because we as a city council should not have to tell members of the public to call the Peel Regional Police at 905-453-3311 if they have ever been victimized by you or others. Resign. I believe you should resign because your actions as outlined in the Integrity Commissioner's report will cost taxpayers hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Resign. I believe you should resign because everyone listening to my voice right now knows someone who has been a victim of sexual assault. Resign. I believe you should resign because I have 3 little girls at home, and I want them to know that their mother is going to fight to make sure they grow up in a society that is better than the one that I grew up in. Resign. I believe you should resign because on December 3rd, 2018, you took an oath of office, and I believe you've broken faith with that oath. So resign. So by now, anyone listening to me speak is probably tired of me hearing the word resign. If you have been keeping count, you would know that the next time I say the word resign, I will have said it 74 times. Your victim had to tell you no 74 times before you got the message. Mr. Dhillon, I have a message for you that I really hope you understand. Resign. That's all I have to say. Thank you.